In this video, I'll finally get my new ride after 20 years of riding the other motorcycle. The Pulsar N250 in the Glossy Racing Red.
I watch my generation. It's so evident this world will soon be gone. Will soon.
LED DRLs, bifunctional LED projectors, USB ports, 37mm upside down ports, front brakes 300mm, tires 100 by 18 by 17 inch, dual ABS with 3 riding modes with front and rear pedal discs. The engine is a 249cc oil-cooled fuel injector. The single-cylinder 4-stroke 2-valve mated with a 5-speed gear. The maximum power is 24.5 at 8750 Newton meters. Maximum torque is 21.5 at 6,500 RPM. The exhaust, if the N250 is a double barrel exhaust, at the rear we have the rear brakes at 230mm with the rear tires at 130 17 inches.
This life cannot be lost forever. I watch my generation.
LED turn indicators, LED tail lights,
Will soon be gone. Will soon be gone.
chain guard which is made of plastic, specifically ABS material called acronitrolide butadiene styrene resin. Belly pan,
Let's
17-inch alloy wheels, a fully digital console, joystick for maneuvering through the menu, low high pass button, engine start stop button, light switch, boot lock, grab rail. What I was driving before I got this bike was the Apache RTR 160-4V. After scrapping my Pulsar 150, which I drove almost 12-13 years and which I owned around 20 years, as you've seen in my previous video, I brought the used TVS Apache RTR 160-4V from OLX, rode it almost 10,000 kilometers, but on my ride to Tarkarli, the engine seized. The repair costed me around 15,000 rupees, and then came the big issues. As it was a BS4, a lot of places did not have the parts which was intended, and I visited multiple showrooms and nothing was available. So finally, I decided I had to make the tough call, get it repaired and then sell it.
the constellations. They remind me that this life cannot be lost.
Now 10 things I've noticed after purchasing the Pulsar N250 and riding it over 7,000 kilometers. Sitting riding woes. Do USD folks really matter when you're driving in the city? Since I'm not on the racetrack and I do not know any racetrack where we are able to go in Mumbai. Kramika calipers, they're good, but a sintered pads would have made a huge difference. Dual ABS mode, honestly, I did not feel any change. I feel this is a gimmick, but let's give it a benefit of doubt. Belly pan scraping everywhere. A crash plate would have been smarter because I've noticed that this belly pan most of the time scrapes while I climb over a small bump or a speed breaker. The clutch slipper assisted and slick shifting made city riding a breeze. Nimble handling in traffic with balanced weight distribution. Engine strain beyond 90 km causing wides. Missing the 6th gear makes long rides less comfortable. Seats are not quite comfortable as you like them to be. And the fuel efficiency, Bajaj claims to around 35 to 40 km, but the real world closer to 30 to 32 km depending on the city traffic. Now turn by turn navigation is not worth all the hype, and that needs a dedicated video in itself.
The Bajaj Pulsar N250 features a handy USB charging port, as you see, neatly tucked near the tank, which allows riders to charge their smartphone while they're navigating or while they're on the go. It is convenient for daily commuting and for long rides, but it is important that the charging port is water protected, and the manufacturer should have taken into consideration that while we're on the go, it can rain and anything can happen, and that port should have been water protected with a sealant.
So I'll just want to walk you through the Bajaj Ride Connect app, which you need to install to work the turn-by-turn navigation on your Pulsar N250. So I've opted for the Bluetooth connectivity option, which is extra 2,000 rupees. My opinion, the Bluetooth option, which costs an extra 2,000 rupees, is pointless and meaningless if you're going to use the mobile, Google Maps, mount it on the motorcycle and use it. The turn-by-turn navigation is spotty. It does not work outside the Ride Connect app, and at given points of the traveling also, you would need to take out your mobile, activate the screen, and then only this information is relayed back to the screen on the motorcycle, which is annoying at times when you're driving and your screen on the mobile is switched off, and then you need to turn it back on, and then only this information is relayed back. And many times the route, which is optimum route, is not the route which is displayed here, and that needs to be considered while using this ride app. So when you buy the motorcycle at first and you download this application, you need to launch it and register your mobile number with the mobile number which was used to purchase the motorcycle. So that when you are buying a motorcycle, you need to give the relevant documents like the Aadhaar card and all the other information. And the Aadhaar card, where the contact number which is given on the Aadhaar card, is the one which will be used on this app. So you cannot register any other number with this app, which is a little bit cumbersome. Once you register, you have the option to edit your name, your contact number. It is blurred, you can't edit these details. This is first time when you log into the application, you need to enter the first name, the last name, and the number which is registered with your Aadhaar card, right? You gotta upload your license. I choose not to, right? And when you go to the next options, you have reminders, basically adding reminders of what you want to do, what is the description, which I don't use at this stage, which seems to me is like pointless. And it tells me if I have any vehicles. I have right now only one vehicle, which is the N250. And if you see that is, I can always activate the Bluetooth. This is my details of the registration, vehicle identification. I can upload the RC and the insurance details, the PUC, all that information will store basically your DG locker, right? Now when you go to the vehicles, you see the riding tips, manuals, right? This operating manual is pretty nice for the first time. Gives you license, privacy, settings, and the option to log out, right? Now let's just go to the navigate option. When you click on navigate, we can enter the location, let's say Washi, in our Washi Mall. Okay, that does not show up. So if I say Washi City Mall or Washi Mini Market, it tells you the location, right? Now it tells me distance, the kilometers and the arrival time, 11:52 a.m. and it tells me the directions, right? All this is good. When you start, it starts the navigation. It tells you
meters, turn left onto the track.
You the direction and all that. And once you're connected with your Bluetooth on the motorcycle, this information is relayed back. At first time when I tried to set it up on the motorcycle, it was cumbersome to connect seamlessly. I had to do multiple rounds, try to delete it, reinstall it a couple of times, and when you try to search the Bluetooth, it does not pick it up. So, but after all that glitches, if you are able to navigate past that and you're able to use navigation and you're wanting to navigate to, let's say, City Mall. So if this is the location, once I start on the motorcycle, I get connected to the Bluetooth. So once the registration is complete, once the mobile is recognized, every time you turn on the Bluetooth and you turn on the Ride Connect, it connects immediately. So that is one good thing, that the app does not delay and it connects quickly, and I can just enter those details and start. And this Ride Connect navigation turn by turn works on the screen. The screen on the N250 is pretty small, so you need to look at the screen when you need to take a right turn, left turn, right? So you have to keep in remembering that looking at the screen. Since the screen is pretty small and it is not quite effective, because your screen on the mobile has to be active at all times. You cannot just turn it off and keep it in the bag or keep it in your pockets. It needs to be active. So basically you need to mount this on motorcycle at some point, or have this handy that the screen is available to use the Ride Connect Share app and the connectivity on the screen on the motorcycle. So this is one drawback which I noticed, that which needs to be rectified by Bajaj. Other than that, that is pretty much straightforward. You enter the details, you go in, and once you finish, let's say if you started, and once you end the trip,
turn left
as you see, I ended the trip. It says you have arrived at destination. You can finish it and then enter the information. So it will tell you the speed and all that, the trip name. You can upload pictures. All this is in your local application on the local device. And if you need to transfer this, there's no cloud. You cannot save this data. You cannot store it somewhere that you can take it up. There is no option here. Basically, upload this information onto cloud. And if you see, there is no backup or export or import of your data. Take it with a pinch of salt that it is just for in use of the local application. But if you need to delete the application, reinstall it on some other mobile, you remind that all this data of your trips will get wiped out, right? And then there's a service app, which I still don't know why it is there. My services, if you like to keep a track of it, you can add the details of it. It would have been much better if you would let it connect with your service station. And then when your servicing is coming up to round, it reminds you. All these things would have made this app much better. It tells you the details, how much is my speed, what was my last recording. So if I've been using the phone and if I'm using the motorcycle, it does not let me know any details other than the information which is plugged into the Ride Connect, so which is pointless. So the trips you see will list you all your trips which you have done and recorded using the navigation app or the navigation button, where you have navigated to a particular location. If you have used this application to do the navigation, you can store it as a trip. But if you have not used it and you used Google Maps, it will not be helpful.
Now, if you like my video, consider sharing and subscribing to my channel. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit the bell icon for future notifications.